play, how physical they are. But I thought our guys came out. I thought our guys competed from start to finish. I thought the game changed in that stretch during the fourth quarter. It was where they hit 2 threes and then they go up 110 to 100. And that was where we couldn't score, we couldn't stop them, and that was really the difference. But I thought our guys competed even during that time for 48 minutes. Really just proud of the effort that everybody showed tonight.
Coach, was there a concerted effort to make sure you played everyone at least 8 to 10 minutes because of last night?
No. Played whoever give us some energy. I don't think Chandler or Ty played tonight. The two bigs, Alex and Bruno, played minimal minutes. Jabari got in foul trouble early in the first quarter, which gave Vince some extra minutes. We played DeAndre Hunter at the 4, which gave him more minutes than he normally plays. But, DeAndre's rolling and just trying to find more opportunities, keep him on the floor when we're a little bit shorthanded with bodies, and trying to play the guys that are playing well and playing with energy and giving us something on both sides of the floor.
Coach, was that the plan for the last possession for Trey?
Trey? Without a doubt. Yeah, just, the toughest part is everyone knows that. And how do we get him the basketball? 4.5 seconds. And he's a small guy, so to run a play from the inbounds and get a shot off, that's going to be hard. And to give him the basketball with a live dribble, at least he can create his own space. And, they switched on the pin down the back screen we set. They switched with whoever was guarding him initially and Hollis Jefferson, and he still was able to create a little bit of space, but he was too far out. But we've seen him make that shot. We've seen him, he wants that shot. But that's all you can ask sometimes when you're at the end of the game and you're under 5 seconds. I'm surprised they didn't foul, to be honest with you. We didn't have any timeouts left, and we would have had to recreate another play with a little bit less time than 4.5. But to get a shot is kind of the goal, and hopefully he can make one.
How do you see DeAndre Hunter kind of grow over these last 3 games, just as a primary ball handler and as a defender?
Just involvement. I talked about the Milwaukee game in the first half, I believe it was, and just how that was probably our best half of execution offensively, and we were able to involve both he and Cam in that. The more we can include him, sometimes when he's off the basketball, you don't know if he's going to get a shot or even be involved in it, and so we have to run plays for him, where we're putting him in pick and rolls. We're making him the guy that's the throwback. If teams are blitzing Trey, just so he gets a touch, and when he gets a touch, he's pretty good getting downhill, and obviously pretty good shooting the 3 as well.
Were you pleased with the way you guys started the game after?
I was pleased with our guys from start to finish. And again, for 48 minutes, there's always ups and downs, but I didn't think it was a lack of effort at all tonight at any point, really. There was a lull where we couldn't score in the fourth quarter, but it definitely wasn't a lack of effort. And that's, that was the message last night. How do we just compete on a consistent and nightly basis? How do we compete every single possession? If we do that, everything else will kind of take care of itself. And that's what we didn't do last night. It's what we struggled to do in the last 5 games. We did that in its entirety tonight.
Is it gratifying to see the guys respond to that message?
It is, but I never doubted their character. I never doubt how hard they work. I thought the caliber of opponents that we've played in the last 5 games is really, you go and play Lakers and Clippers on back-to-back nights and they perform the way they do. That's deflating. That's tough for a young team. And so I thought we brought some of that back home and trying to recover from that's the longest road trip we have this year. And so we don't have to deal with that. We're going to have trips, but that stretch, the caliber opponents that we've played the last 6 games is tough. We just got to get our rhythm back a little bit.
Coach, you use the word compete a lot. You used it in preseason, you use it again today. Describe what that looks like.
For 82 games, for us, the challenge can be in a variety of ways. It's the schedule, it's the trips, it's the injuries, it's the everything that will go into an 82 game season. There's always some ups and downs. Tired, you get into the city really late. The biggest challenge is finding guys that can bring it. If you try and stick to a script every single night, you'll get caught. And we need to find energy. We need to create energy when we're on the road. We can use the fans like we did tonight to create that energy, but competing is our effort, it's our togetherness, it's our execution. It's understanding in 82 games we're gonna need everyone. And so we're trying to put all of that together and educate our guys on that.
Coach, 30, 10, and 10 for Trey tonight. What do you make out of your point guard leading your team in
I
rebounding?
just thought he was more vocal, more than anything. Understanding how they were gonna blitz him and attack him and being able to position guys where they can catch freely, attack freely, get off the ball quicker. But I thought he was just way more engaged on both sides of the floor. He had a tough matchup, man. Lee's tough. I mean, he's probably an all-star at this stage. And he's got to defend him. And I think that challenge defensively, knowing that he's got to defend a guy of that caliber, keeps him engaged. And so on the other end, he doesn't have to play one-on-one. He just has to be engaged and vocal and active and get other guys going and get our offense flowing. And I thought he did a great job of that tonight.
Struggled a bit on the defensive glass, I think in the second half, 10 offensive rebounds and all. What do you attribute that to?
When you compete like that, you get scrambled a lot. And, we were flying around and I thought the effort is great. And I've seen that with Toronto's defense. It was one of the holes I thought they had. They're flying around, they're contesting and challenging every shot. And all you had to do was slash or crash the offensive glass. And so we felt that on the other end as well. We're flying around, contesting shots. We're rotating. We had some great rotations in the first half, but it allows you to be exposed on the offensive glass as well.
Coach, what do you tell a young team in the midst of a losing streak to keep their chin up?
Compete. Yeah, it's I think every team will go through a drought, whether it's 5 games, 3 games for some, not a lot of teams do that, but 4 or 5 games. You have to compete, you have to stay together. When you go on a 5-game winning streak, it balances out, and that's what happens over 82 games. We hit the toughest stretch, I think, in our schedule. Doesn't mean we won't lose more games, but we hit the toughest stretch in our schedule with the 5 games that we had, and then the caliber opponents we came back to. And so we have to find a way to balance it the other way, and it's still by getting in the gym and working, staying together, have a positive spirit, and competing. And that's the biggest thing I can keep stressing. I know it sounds like a very simple word, but if you start there, a lot of things get solved.
Thanks, Coach.